Hi everybody, Russ Lewis in the KHOU newsroom this afternoon. It's just about 2:15. We have an important update on a story that a lot of you are clicking on right now on our digital platform, so we want to tell you about it. It involves that shooting. It was exactly a week ago, the woman who was shot and killed while driving with her husband out on Old Greenhouse Road, West Harris County. Well, today, the investigators have not only named a suspect, but they've charged him. The problem is they don't have him under arrest yet. So right now we're going to show you a picture of who we're talking about, and here he is. Let's put it up there. That is 19-year-old KHOU Blackledge. If you know who he is or where he is wanted for the murder in this case, and we've looked up his arrest record. He, at last known address anyway, was in the area where that shooting took place on Old Greenhouse Road. So we're talking about this shooting a week ago of Cerrone James, 62-year-old woman. Just an incredibly sad story. She's driving with her husband. He's behind the wheel. They just left a doctor's appointment. They're driving to a pharmacy to pick up some medicine. The husband hears what he thinks are fireworks going off. He looks over and his wife has been shot in the head, and he has no idea why. And if investigators know at this point, they haven't said either, but he rushed her to the hospital where she unfortunately passed away a little bit later. So again, we don't know if this was a road rage thing, mistaken identity. Her husband doesn't think he did anything on the road that would warrant something like this. Doesn't remember anything, and police haven't said anything either. But again, they've identified this suspect today, and they may have linked him to this white Audi they were looking for that they caught actually on some surveillance video in that area at the time of the shooting. So they were looking for that vehicle. Blackledge, the suspect here, does match the general description of the person seen driving that Audi, that white Audi SUV. So we don't know if that's connected or not. It could be, but we know right now this is the man police are looking for. If you know where to find 19-year-old KHOU Blackledge, call Harris County Sheriff's investigators. They would love to know and get him under arrest and close this case, hopefully. But again, we're being told he's been charged in the case, but our source is telling us he's been charged right now with engaging in organized criminal activity. So we don't know how that fits in here either. We'll know more, obviously, once they get him under arrest. So if you can help out, please do. Other story that a lot of you are clicking on today, we just have to show this. It's kind of a fun thing, but this is a house in Pearland where you may not want to open the door, at least not right this second. That's a Ring doorbell camera catching this very large snake crawling across, then crawling across the door and into a bush on the side of the house. It doesn't bother me so much, but Chloe, standing here next to me, is holding her heart as she runs the equipment, so she doesn't like snakes. Chloe, I can tell you, I'm not a snake expert. This looks to be a rat snake to me. Very common, not venomous, but will bite if you harass it, which I don't think you would do, right, Chloe? No, you'd be running away? All right. So anyway, not venomous, and you know what? I hope he got away and just did his thing, because they do a lot of good. They're called rat snakes for a reason. They get rid of the rats you don't want around. So anyway, just want to show you that real quick because a lot of you are clicking on that and you're liking that video today. So let's talk about the weather, because that's another big story that you are interested in, and why not? It feels great out there. This is so unusual for July, as you know if you've lived here more than a couple of summers, to get this kind of cool down, and what we're headed for is very rare. Let's talk to David Paul about what's going on out there right now. David, good afternoon.
Well, Russ, I know it's not cold, but a cold front has blown through the area and out of the Gulf of Mexico, and this is incredibly rare for this time of year. You may notice the cloud cover stuck around. I'm looking at our tower camera here. It's jiggling in a north wind at 15. For the end of July, to have a north wind at 15, temps only in the low to mid 80s, and a dew point that's dropping through the 70s, and that's headed toward the 60s, is incredibly rare. And outside I can see all the flags and the balloons out there blowing out of that north wind at 10 to 15. This weather map looks more like October than July, with a front pushed all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. Big ridge of high pressure is pushing that south, unusually strong ridge of high pressure for this time of the year. And we've got that north breeze. The clouds have stuck around, And I got to tell you, our temperatures only in the low to mid 80s right now have more to do with the cloud cover than with any cold air that's coming in. This is really pulling in more dry air than cooler air, but that dry air will work its magic and cool off nicely into the 60s, I think, tonight. Houston is 11 degrees cooler right now than 24 hours ago, so that's kind of nice out there. Temps locally, Bush 84, Sugar Land 82, Pearland 83. Normally by this time of the afternoon on a midsummer day, it's low 90s, so temperatures are running a good 10 degrees below where they ought to be this time of the year. And locally, again, Houston's 11 degrees cooler than yesterday at this time. Sugar Land 8 degrees cooler, Tomball 9 degrees cooler. So it's not a huge shift, but what is really going to feel and make a difference overnight and tomorrow is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. So relative humidity. So you can see we're still in the 60 and 70 percentile across Harris County, but Huntsville's relative humidity has dropped to 48%, Brenham at 50%, Columbus at 44%. So to our north and west, that's where the drier air is really beginning to come in and make a difference in how it feels up there. The lower that humidity, the lower the dew point goes. That's the big factor. Huntsville's got a dew point at 66. Still have dew points low 70s across the immediate Houston area, but all of those dew points, the moisture will drop and it will help temperatures drop. These are forecast lows for tomorrow morning. Sugar Land 69, Pearland 68, Columbia 67, Conroe 67, Huntsville down to 65. Again, we ought to be in the mid to upper 70s for normal lows with humidity this time of the year. Not only will we drop into the 60s by tomorrow morning, but we'll have low humidity. Make sure you have coffee and breakfast. Plan on it. Have a special morning outside and enjoy this unusual cool down. Now, dry air will warm up quickly as well. So tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, we're still going to make the upper 80s to near 90, but that's still 3 or 4 degrees below normal for this time of the year, and the humidity will be very low. So even though we'll make 90, it won't feel nearly as uncomfortable because of that lower humidity. Now look at this. Thursday morning, we're going to shoot for 67 or so at Bush, Sugar Land 67, Pearland 66, 62 College Station, Brenham. It wouldn't surprise me if some of the rural areas in Austin County, Washington County, Grimes County actually dropped into the upper 50s, places like MIDDAY, Industry. You guys may actually find yourself at 59 degrees in the morning up there, and that's when we're going to flirt with record lows. Now, the record low for Bush on Thursday morning is 65. I'm going to forecast 66, 1 degree above. That's a record that goes way back into the late 1800s. So this is very unprecedented stuff we're dealing with here. Here's the next 3 days so you can plan. Tomorrow we'll go 68, 90, but that lower humidity will make it feel much better. It won't feel nearly as uncomfortable as it has been. This is Thursday. 66 in the morning would be 1 degree above our record low for that date. And then Friday is still 92 is a little below normal, 70 is a little below normal, so still comfortable into Friday. What are your weekend plans? Because the weekend forecast, all the humidity comes back and rain chances come back as well. 60% chance for scattered thunderstorms on Saturday, 40% on Sunday. So this beautiful stretch of weather that is really only just beginning right now is about to get really good tonight and tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, and then the weekend comes back and reality comes back and we go back to the higher humidity and rain chances. But Russ, we will enjoy this beautiful, unusual taste of, so these lows in the 60s, Russ, much more like October normals than July normals. That's how out of whack and strange this whole weather pattern is. Back over to you, sir.
All right, David, thanks very much. Chloe, I just want to let you know that Sue Lombardi wrote in here on Facebook. She's happy that I'm defending rat snakes. So just want you to know. She knows they do good work out there too. All right, before we go here real quick, I want to throw up this this picture again real quick of the guy that Harris County Sheriffs are looking for, Sheriff's deputies. That is Tacony Blackledge, 19 years old. He is the guy who's been charged in the murder of that 62-year-old woman on Old Greenhouse Road a week ago. Shot in her vehicle as she rode with her husband coming from a doctor's appointment. So police have identified this guy, Tacony Blackledge, maybe through the vehicle that they saw through surveillance video on that road. We have found that he lives, last known address anyway, was in the area where the shooting took place on Old Greenhouse Road. So if you know where to find Tacony Blackledge today, please call Harris County Sheriff's deputies so they can get him into custody again, charged in the murder of 62-year-old Saron James. We'll have an update on the TV side coming up here on the 411. That's at 4 o'clock in just about an hour and a half. We'll see if they've had any luck with that investigation and getting that young man under arrest. We'll give you an update on that coming up at 4 o'clock, as well as the weather and all the other day's news. Sharon Min in for Reka today, and David Paul in for Erica. I'm Russ Lewis. We'll see you at 4 o'clock on the TV side. Have a good day.